First of all, I wish to extend my appreciation to you for your prompt response in convening this urgent meeting, which underscores the gravity of the situation before us. I thank USG Di Carlo and Director General Grossi for their insightful briefing. From the outset of the mandate of Algeria on this Council, we have consistently warned against the growing danger of a broad regional conflagration, fueled by a spiral of illegal acts and multiple provocations of Israel. The events of today sadly confirm the validity of those warnings. We are now faced again with the serious and deliberate act of aggression. The Israeli army have launched coordinated strikes on the territory of Iran, targeting both military and civilian infrastructure. These actions are not only unprovoked and unjustifiable, they constitute a flagrant violation of international law, a violation of the Charter of the United Nations. As clearly articulated in Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the Charter, all members shall refrain in their international relations from the threat of or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state, or in any other manner and consistent with the purposes of the United Nations. The logic of unilateral force, of so-called preemptive strikes, outside any legal mandate, cannot be normalized and cannot be tolerated within this Council. Once again, these attacks prove that the only thing that preemptive action could prevent is peace. So the justifications presented by Israeli officials are unacceptable. They are flawed, especially since they come from a UN member that continues to operate outside the framework of the Non-Proliferation Treaty, that is not fully under the IAEA nuclear safeguards regime, and which has persistently refused to join the negotiation process related to the establishment of a zone free of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. In its communique published this morning, the IAEA recalls the numerous General Conference resolutions on the topic of military attacks against nuclear facilities, providing that any armed attacks, I quote, any armed attack or and a threat against nuclear facility devoted to peaceful purposes constitutes a violation of the principle of the United Nations Charter, a violation of the international law, and the status of the agency. Furthermore, the IAEA has consistently underlined that armed attacks on nuclear facilities could result on radioactive releases with grave consequences within and beyond the boundaries of the state which has been attacked. Colleagues, let us overlook the timing. Let us not overlook the timing. These attacks occur precisely as Iran and the United States, with the facilitation of Oman, are engaged in indirect negotiation regarding Iran's nuclear program. A sixth round of discussion was due to take place this weekend in Muscat. The question must be asked about these attacks. Why now? Madam President, the use of force without Security Council authorization, absent a legitimate claim of self-defense under Article 51 of the UN Charter, undermines the very foundation of the international legal order that this body, the Security Council, was created to uphold. It is an act completely divorced from any legal ground, but does not come to the surprise of anyone in this chamber. Yes, the Israeli acts like if international law does not exist, or simply it does not apply to them. Israel is sowing chaos throughout the region, throughout the Middle East. Its conduct is unworthy of a member of the United Nations. We are witnessing a repeated act of aggression, the bombing of the Lebanese capital, the occupation of new territories in Syria, in Lebanon, in Palestine, and repeated violation of Syrian sovereignty, including abduction of civilians, as occurred just yesterday. In Gaza, Israel is using starvation as a method of warfare, in clear violation of international humanitarian law. A genocide is unfolding before our eyes, before your eyes. This is the behavior of a rogue state, and yet some still wonder why the Middle East remains so dangerously unstable. Madam President, the international community cannot allow a precedent to take hold whereby Israel acts as a judge and a jury, launching unilateral attacks in violation of established legal norms. Such course of action would erode the credibility of the Security Council and diminish the authority of the United Nations Charter itself. we must reaffirm clearly and collectively that the principles enshrined in the Charter are not optional. They are binding obligations. The prohibition of the use of force and the respect of sovereignty of member states are the pillars upon which our international system is built. We further reiterate that right must prevail over might. No political objective, no matter of strategic, can justify actions that defy the legal order upon which peace among nations depends. Let us be clear. Upholding international law is not a choice. It is a duty under all circumstances and without exception. Without exception. I thank you.